builds her house, but Folly with her own hands tears it down. Whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is devious in his ways despises him. By the mouth of a fool comes a rod for his back, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. Kind of obvious, right? Some of those. This is an interesting verse. Verse 4. Where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but abundant crops come from the strength of an ox. What? What does that even mean? Well, first of all, you have to put yourself in the agrarian mindset. Oxen were before we had all the machines and everything we have today, oxen, and still some parts of the world, they plow fields. They're used to plow fields, right? And then, of course, you're going to plant whatever you can plant, wheat or whatever you're going to grow, right? And then you're going to reap a harvest. You're going to reap a benefit. You're going to be getting paid. What this is saying, though, is where there's no oxen, right, the manger is clean, right? Saying there's nothing to clean up. There's no poop to clean up, you know. What is that exactly saying? And you really, this is one of those riddles in Proverbs. This is an actual riddle. And you have to kind of meditate on it. And so think about this. I don't have any oxen, okay? I have a clean stable. You know, that's nice. But I would much rather have oxen and have to clean up their poop, have to clean up the mess that they make, because at least I would be making some money. So that's kind of that immediate application. Now, if we take that and we apply that to other things in life, say relationships, you think about, well, if I never start up new relationships, I won't be involved and have these friends that can actually turn around, stab me in the back, and disappoint me. Oh no, right? A lot of people have been burned, and so they withdraw, they isolate, and you'll have this clean stable. In other words, you don't have any friends. Okay, there's no drama. Well, but you're missing out on all the good stuff. All the what's produced the fruit of friendship, right? And the encouragement and everything that comes with having good friends. So wouldn't you rather take the risk, and occasionally maybe you have relationships where they go south, or that aren't that great, and maybe it's a little messy in your life, but then because you've taken that risk to start those new friendships, now you have some lifelong friends that you can trust. Isn't that much better than just, well, you know what, if I don't start any new friendships, I won't be disappointed. So you can apply in that way, and so many other ways. Life is messy, right? If you don't take a risk, though, you're going to miss out, and that's kind of what this is saying. Moving on to verse 5. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge is easy for a man of understanding. Again, sounds obvious, right? Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to discern his way, but the folly of fools is deceiving again. It's kind of very repetitive. But the whole idea of the repetitiveness of Proverbs is to really get this into your head. You want it spinning around in your head, right? Fools mock at the guilt offering. Let me go. I'm going to move over to my Logos Bible program. Fools mock at the guilt offering, but the upright enjoy acceptance. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. Well, that's interesting, right? The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to the man, but in the end leads to death. Hey, here's another one that you often see quoted. What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of ways that seem right to people today. There are a lot of causes that people are fighting for, and that think they're on the right side. It seems right to them. They don't think what they're doing is evil or wrong or misguided. They think, man, this is the right way to go. This is the right cause to stand up for. But in the end, it leads to death, right? It's and that's the thing is this is kind of speaking of deception. You know, the wisdom of the world is not the wisdom of God, and a lot of people they often find themselves on the opposite side of what God desires and what God wants for them, and they think, you know, because they're, and there's so many causes. I don't want to get into any particular cause right now. I'm just trying to make a point from the Proverbs of what he's saying is that we can often be deceived and think we're going in the right way, but we're really not, right? And what ultimately is the way that ends in death is a way that denies God in your life, denies what Jesus Christ has done for you, that he's died on the cross for your sins, that he rose again from the dead, that he's broken the power of sin and death. You don't want to acknowledge Jesus. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge what Jesus has done. They don't want him in their life. They push him out of their life, but they think they're doing all these awesome things in the world to make things better, but they don't realize often the way they're going about doing these things, it is really just, it's going to lead to death eventually. And that might not make sense to everybody, but again, if you go back into the scriptures, right? Solomon says that there is nothing new under the sun. This has been going on forever. Even in laughter, what's it say? I kind of lost my place for a moment, right? Oh, verse 13, even in laughter the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. The backslider in his heart will be filled with the fruit of his ways. Good man will be filled with the fruit of his ways, right? So we think about fruit. Fruit is just the results. It's just the evidence of life lived. A backslider in heart, that is someone who is, you know, maybe they say that they love God, they're following God, but they're sliding back into the ways of this world. They're sliding back into empty pursuits, and that's going to, you know, bear bad fruit, right? That is, you're going to have bad results. And a good man will be filled with the fruit of his ways. And of course, this is someone who acknowledges God, who's following God in their life. You know, life is not perfect. You're going to have difficulties. Bad things do happen to good people, but ultimately, no one is good except God, right? But in this context, a good man is a righteous person, someone who is at least seeking to follow God. And so, Jesus talks about this in John 15, you know, my true disciples will bear fruit, right? And so that's what you want to get out of there. 15, the simple believes everything, but the prudent gives thought to his steps. Wow. Yes, I believe everything on Facebook. Wow. I believe everything that I read, they see. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of that going on. So we got to be careful, right? But the prudent gives thought to his steps. You know, don't just receive what is being said. Think about it, ponder it, pray through it before you repeat it to somebody else. So often we're just parroting what we've heard, and that's not wisdom. You got to process it. You got to think through, reason through some information that you've been given. One who is wise is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool is reckless and careless. A man of quick temper acts foolishly, and a man of evil devices is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor, right, is disliked even by his neighbor, but the rich has many friends. Kind of see that in life. So it's just stating the obvious. Whoever despises his neighbor is a sinner, but blessed is he who is generous to the poor. So he's saying what? Be compassionate, right? They do not go astray. Do they not go astray who devise evil? Those who devise good meet steadfast love and faithfulness. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. Don't be lazy, right? The crown of the wise is their wealth, but the folly of fools brings folly. A truthful witness saves lies, but one who breathes out lies is deceitful. In the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and his children will have a refuge. The fear of the Lord is the fountain of life, that one may turn away from the snares of death. In a multitude of people is the glory of a king, but without people a prince is ruined. We don't really have too many princes today, but he's saying, you know, people that are in leadership, right? Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who is hasty to temper exalts folly. And that is so true. Again, you know, don't burst out in anger at something somebody has said, and information that you have. You need to, some people call it the 5-minute rule or whatever it takes for you to bring the temperature down before you just turn around and blast somebody or put somebody on blast. Be very careful, right? A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. Whoever oppresses a poor man insults his maker, but he who is generous to the needy honors him. Now, that's very good, right? Again, be compassionate. The wicked is overthrown through his evil doing, but the righteous finds refuge in his death. Wisdom rests in the heart of a man of understanding, but it makes itself known even in the midst of fools. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. I mean, think about, you know, what's going on in the nation, and I talked about this last Sunday. Righteousness, right? When people seek God, when that people seek righteousness, wherever they're living, you know, it's going to affect everybody else around them in some positive way. But sin is a reproach to any people, and that's the thing. It's you know, if we have those, especially those that are in leadership that aren't even interested in God, in fact, they're kind of anti-God or anti-religious or whatever it might be, it's going to not go very well for you. A servant who deals wisely has the king's favor, but his wrath falls on one who acts shamefully. And again, that's the end. I know we didn't go through every verse. It was kind of a long chapter, but I really encourage you to get into some of these. They may seem obvious, but take them, meditate upon them, and think how to apply them to your life. That's all for today. God bless, and we'll see you next time.